Hi teachers, welcome to the project-based learning sheet for the chapter The Scholar's Mother. In this sheet, we will cover some learning concepts, outcomes and objectives. The concept we are going to look at in this sheet is articles a, an and the. Through this sheet, we hope learners are better able to respond verbally and in writing in English to questions based on day-to-day life, experiences, heard or read. And they are able to infer meaning of familiar and unfamiliar words by reading them in context. We have designed this sheet with a few objectives in mind. These are that learners participate in dialogue writing, reading and hearing. They are able to learn grammar in a contextual and integrated manner and frame grammatically correct sentences. They are able to look at pictures with or without words and interpret them. And they are able to write 2 to 3 simple sentences. The leading question for this sheet is, what can be filled into blank spaces by identifying vowels and consonants? Let's prompt learners to think of this question a little more deeply. We can use prompts like asking them to build a story with a cute character and asking them how they would refer to this character throughout their story. For example, if learners have built a story with a character of a penguin, we can ask, how can I refer to this penguin throughout my story? Or what are the words I will use to refer to this penguin throughout my story? We can also use simple prompts like asking them, if I ask you what this is, you will say, this is dash tree. When learners use articles by themselves, point out that they have used an article. In the introduction, we will have a small bit of information about articles, how they are used, and what they are. Now, we will move on to the activities. Activity 1 is called Fill Me Up. Here, ask learners to observe the picture carefully and look at all the objects named in the picture. The tree, sky, old lady, water, duck, girl, and so on. Ask them to notice a small blank circle given before each object. Ask them what they think should go in each circle. Give them an example, for example, the sky, and ask them to fill the rest. Activity number 2, articles fill up. Here are simple sentences with blanks for learners to fill in the right article. Next is an activity called To Talk, where we can pair learners and ask them to fill in dialogues in the conversation given using the appropriate article. Once all the children have done this with their partners, ask them to come to the front of the class as a pair and perform the dialogues that they have written. Highlight the use of articles in these dialogues. This will help learners understand how articles are used in context. Next, activity 4 is called a mistake story. Here, learners are given a passage where articles are used correctly and incorrectly. Every correct article must have a circle around it, while every incorrect article must have a triangle. For example, in sentence 1, once upon a time, there was an little girl named Radha. Here we see that a is the correct article used before the word time, and an is an incorrect article used. So a has a circle around it, and an has a triangle around it. Ask learners to follow this pattern and mark the other articles around the passage in the same manner. Next, we have a reading comprehension activity. This one is called Ali and the Magic Carpet. Once learners have thoroughly read this passage, they will move on to answer questions that are given below. Learners need to find the right details given in the passage to mark the right answers. So ask them to read carefully and look for details for each question in the passage. Question 5 of this reading comprehension questionnaire is a self-reflective question. Here, learners can have fun drawing themselves on a magic carpet, and talk about a place that they would love to visit using their magic carpet. Ask learners to have fun and use their creativity while drawing this image. Next, we have a picture composition. Here, ask learners to observe this picture carefully. Then ask them to answer questions given based on the picture. This is a time for learners to think and answer questions. Question number 3 in this picture composition questionnaire is a cute little poem about ice cream. Here, let's ask learners to reflect on their everyday life. Let's ask them to think of a time where they and a loved one shared ice cream together. Ask them to write about it and share it with the class. Now we have come to our creative space activity. Here, learners are going to have fun using a, and the, and use it as a drawing, either drawing different patterns or using the articles in drawings as patterns. Once they do what they do, once they have finished drawing and using their imagination, ask them to describe what they have drawn in the question space given below. Next, we have self-assessment questions. Here, we will assess if learners have understood articles correctly post answering and attempting the project-based learning sheet. And once they do that, they can move on to practice answering on the OMR sheet. This will help them gain confidence while answering future question papers like competitive exam and future examinations where OMR type of pattern is used.